working. Yeah.
First of all, let me say welcome to our meeting. Good evening to everybody. Again, this is our regular City Council meeting for September the 23rd, 2024. And we welcome you. And we hope that you will pay close attention to your council as we try to be good stewards of your hard-earned tax dollars. At this time, we're going to begin with an invocation, which will be given by Councilwoman Collier, as well as the Pledge of Allegiance. So at this time, Councilwoman Collier.
Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking that you continue to allow this council to be good stewards of the city's tax dollars and allow us to be partners with our school board and all the bodies around our neighboring cities. Allow us to come together and make not just Garfield Heights, but this region one that is the gateway to Cuyahoga County. We ask you to remember all those who are involved in violence anywhere in the world, that they find peace and violence ends. We ask this as we ask all things in his name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May be seated. Madam Clerk, can we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Collier.
Here.
Ms. Mack.
Here.
Mr. Smith.
Here.
Mr. Johnson.
Here.
Ms. Thompson.
Here.
Mr. Kelly.
Here.
Ms. New Rose.
Here.
Madam Clerk, we have a phone.
Yes.
All right. At this time, can we please have a reading and disposal of our minutes?
Mr. President,
Councilman Kelly.
I make a motion to dispose of our regular council meeting September 9th, 2024.
It has been so moved by Councilman Kelly. Can I get a second?
Second.
It has been moved and second by Councilwoman Thompson. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no. At this time, I'd like to know if we have any written communications to council. Any written communications to council? As we have already addressed in caucus, there was a written communications, but that communication is a legal matter. At this time, we're going to ask for any committee reports. Do we have any committee reports? All right, if there's no committee reports, let's move on to reports of the mayor and or directors.
Thank you, Mr. President. Before I get into my report, I do have a proclamation I'd like to present. If you would allow me this time. A few meetings ago, we had a resolution to honor Coach T. And I see she's in the back of the room tonight. If I can have her come up. And Mom, do you want to come up as well? If you recall at the meeting, I said that I would follow up with a proclamation. So here's the proclamation. It says, Office of the Mayor Proclamation, whereas Tamia Creighton Prelue was born on September 21st, 2001 at Marymount Hospital in the city of Garfield Heights and is being honored for her achievements as a student athlete and her dedication and community spirit. And whereas Ms. Creighton Prelue is a fourth-generation resident of Ward 1. And whereas Ms. Creighton Prelue attended St. Joseph Academy, where she served as captain of the track and field and cross-country teams and was selected as a National All-American by USA Track and Field and the Amateur Athletic Union. And whereas, as a result of her achievements, Ms. Creighton Prelue was awarded a full athletic scholarship to Kentucky State University, where she became the captain of the track and field and cross-country teams. And whereas Ms. Creighton Prelue was also a decorated scholar and an active member of her college community, serving as vice president of KSU student government, treasurer of the students NAACP, and Miss Gold 2023. And whereas Ms. Creighton Prelue graduated with a bachelor's degree in biology and is currently preparing to pursue her doctorate in physical therapy. And whereas upon graduating, Ms. Prelue accepted the position of assistant track and field coach at Garfield Heights Senior High, where she mentors and motivates student athletes in Garfield Heights. And whereas Coach T, as she is affectionately called by the students, was awarded the Coach of the Year trophy for her contributions to the team. And whereas Ms. Creighton Prelue has continued providing youth coaching and mentorship for free during the summer months and is grateful to have the opportunity to give back to her community. Now, therefore, I, Matthew A. Burke, Mayor of the City of Garfield Heights, do hereby proclaim Monday, September 23rd, 2024, to be known as Tamia Creighton Prelue Day throughout the City of Garfield Heights. Congratulations, Coach T. Today is your day.
I just want to thank the City of Garfield Heights for shaping me into the person I am today. I think it's important to always leave Garfield, but especially more important to come back so you can tell your story.
Absolutely.
And speak life into other kids coming back up in the community so they can do the same thing as you and we can continue to build this community up. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Coach T. And I just want to say thank you again for setting a great example for our youth and and really being one of the best alumni that we have. I mean, I'll tell you, we have a lot of great people from Garfield Heights, and you're one of them. Thank you. And Mom, we went to school. I give you a lot of credit. You did good work. So we should get a picture, huh?
Yeah.
Mrs. Creighton has my PC going today.
You gotta hear from Mom.
Just on purpose. I would just like to say it's my daughter's birthday week. She turned 23. My last child, I'm extremely proud of her. I couldn't be happier. She's a great athlete. She's almost as good as I was when I was in school. And, you know, she's just doing a really good job. She's staying on task, and I expect great things from her. And I know she's going to do wonderful things for this city. She's got a lot of stuff planned and in store. She actually left a training session to rush here to do this. She was actually training one of the athletes. So,
Oh, beautiful.
so she's a little exhausted, but
All right.
can we get a picture with you guys?
I think the whole council would.
And then when you get done, all the council will stand and take a picture.
This is her moment, not yours, right? Yeah.
All right.
All council. Come on, you better show 'em. Come on, you ain't been done up here. You wanna take them, I appreciate all that you do. I appreciate all that you do.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. At this time, we'll go into reports of the mayor and or the directors.
Thank you, Mr. President. First and foremost, I would like to express my gratitude to all those.
Mayor Burton?
Yes.
I stand corrected. Let me backtrack just a second, please. As invited guests to our council meeting tonight, we have our school board members represented as well as the superintendent. The district is here with us tonight. And we want to recognize our superintendent, Dr. Reynolds, as well as the president of our school board, Ms. Millette King. I think we have the finance director here with us as well. Treasurer, Ms. Olco. And we are just grateful to have them present with us tonight as they are representing the school board. And we have with us also, I'm just telling you, I'm kind of elated tonight. We have school board members as well as here tonight. That's represented here. Ms. Cox, very good to see you again, ma'am. And here we also have with us our library director, if I'm not mistaken. And I didn't get your name yet, sir.
Tony Farino.
Ms. Farino, very much welcome to our council meeting tonight. Is there anybody that I forgot?
Maple Heights Council folks,
Oh,
Maple Heights Council members are here.
oh, I'm sorry. Please excuse me. Welcome again. Who we have with us from Maple Heights again, please?
Councilwoman Agee, District 7.
Very nice to have you, Ms. Agee.
Councilwoman Stafford Marbury, District 6.
Very much so. Thank you again for coming tonight, and we welcome you again to Garfield Heights. Now, at this time, did anybody have any comments that they would like to make before we move on to the rest of our meeting?
Just that we're very thankful to be in attendance tonight, and we are extremely supportive of the city, as the city has been extremely supportive of the school district as well. So we're very thankful to be here.
Okay. Anybody else? Madam President?
I think that Dr. Reynolds summed it up. We just want to continue working together with the city on behalf of the scholars of Garfield Heights.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you again. Now, at this time, I'll turn it back over to the Honorable Mayor Matt Burke. Wait a minute, my counterpart is tapping. We want to hear from the library director before we go to the meeting. That's why we got council clerks. You know, they straighten you out.
Well, thanks everybody for having me tonight. Again, my name is Tony Farino. I'm the branch manager right across the street at the Garfield Heights Library. We've had a pretty good start to the school year. Last year we had a little rocky road with some of the students, but we've got a great partnership with the schools. I worked with head of security, Sean Chapman, and we've actually got 2 middle school security officers, Deshaun Rose and Miss D. They've been great. They were with us for a couple weeks at the end of last school year. But it's great having people who actually work in the school to come after school and to help us out with the crowd. Just so we're not constantly yelling at the kids. We're trying to build relationships here. So having those 2 there really helps us out. I invite everybody here, come after school sometime. 3 o'clock is when the crowd really starts amping up. The kids are great. You know, you just get 50 kids in a building and they're going to get a little loud. But we have some great conversations. And like I said, the kids are great. Just maybe stop by sometime, say hey, and I'll introduce you to our after school crowd, who right now, we honestly don't have many high schoolers. It's a lot of middle school kids. So I'm sure they'd like to see some other city leaders and people from the schools. I just wanted to get some oldies but goodies out of the way, just because I think people forget what we do over at the library. We do have a ton of books, so again, people forget that we have books. We're more than just ebooks, but we do passport photos and processing. So if you wanted a friendlier face, then maybe the post office, come on over and we'll take your picture and process those passports. We do story times every Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. We have meeting rooms and study rooms that can be reserved ahead of time. Those can be done online. Call us up, stop in. We also have Zoom licenses that we have available for people for up to 300 attendees, so you can still get Zoom licenses if needed. We have an innovation center with a laser engraver, embroidery machine, and a bunch of other cool stuff. You've got to go through an orientation, but we've got some pretty cool, unique spaces in the library. Like I said, we're not just books anymore. And then a really nice, unique service we've had for the past year, we've gone beyond the pilot phases. We have 3 or 4 representatives each Wednesday from 9 to 4:30 from Job and Family Services. So they're there to talk to people who, instead of waiting 6 hours on a phone call, can come in and actually talk to a representative from Job and Family Services for SNAP and Medicare assistance. I do recommend, if someone comes in or one of your constituents asks, come right at 9 o'clock. There'll be a line of 20 or so people, and they work with everybody, residents of Garfield and kind of from all over, for SNAP and Medicare assistance. And I think that's about it, unless anybody has any questions for me.
When was that again? Okay.
Every Wednesday. Yep, 9 o'clock.
All right, thank you, sir, for that. Mayor, again, I want to thank all the happy guests that we have coming into our meeting tonight, so I'm glad to see everybody. Mr. Tony Reynolds, Relationship Manager, NOPEC. Sir, would you like to have a few words about our legislation that we're going to be putting tonight?
Thank you, Mr. President, members of council, and Mayor Burke. I'm Tony Ramos from NOPEC. I'm your relationship manager, and this evening you have 2 pieces of legislation on your agenda for your consideration that are going to make some minor adjustments to your gas aggregation program. So as you know, NOPEC operates the city's electric and gas aggregation programs, and for electric, if a resident decides to opt out, and say in a couple months they decide they want to come back into the electric aggregation program, it's as easy as making a phone call to our customer care center, and it typically takes 1 to 2 billing cycles for them to get pulled back into the aggregation program. It's a pretty easy process. Unfortunately, as it stands right now with the gas aggregation program, if someone opts out, they can't come back to the gas program until the next enrollment period. By state law, we send out enrollment letters for the gas program every 2 years. So the next time, if somebody opted out, say in June of this year, the next time they can come back to the gas program is next spring when we do re-enrollment letters. The legislation that you have in front of you amends the plan of governance that governs the gas program to make it consistent with the electric program. So making these changes will then allow residents who opted out to come back much sooner, as opposed to waiting until the next enrollment period. I left at your seats a FAQ flyer that answers a lot of those common questions. And then the second sheet explains the actual changes in what we call the POG. If you want an actual copy of the POG, we can get you that, but it's pretty lengthy. So unless you have a problem falling asleep at night, I don't recommend cracking it because it's boring. So that's what's before you. We are required, so you'll have a first reading this evening. After you have your first reading, we are required to conduct 2 public hearings, and those public hearings, if you give me one moment, are scheduled. Thank you. On October 15th, both will happen here in the community room upstairs, one at 12 and the second at 5 o'clock. Once those hearings are done, I'll come back and report to you. I can tell you almost nobody ever shows up to those public hearings because I'm not asking for any money, so nobody comes to complain. So I'll come back, report to you if anybody did come. Typically, people who do come end up just asking general NOPEC questions that I'm able to help them with. Once those are done, then you will be free per your rules to then pass that on a second reading or third, depending on whatever your process is. And then we will take care of filing with the PUCO. And as we enter this upcoming winter heating season, residents will have a much more better customer service experience on the gas side. So I'll pause there and answer any questions anyone may have.
How often can you opt in and opt out for the program?
Well, I recommend that you don't opt out at all, but I'm biased. But you can opt out at your convenience. One of the benefits of having NOPEC manage the city's aggregation programs are there are no fees to opt out, but we also offer a variety of different pricing options. So before somebody opts out, we would want to find out what's the best fit for them before they do that. But as it stands right now for electric, you can kind of come and go at your leisure. But for gas, you're going to make it convenient for them to do the same thing on the gas side. Any other questions? If you do think of something in the meantime, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Happy to answer any questions. A lot of your neighboring communities are taking this step too. We have to go to every single community and get them to make this change so that it's consistent with the electric program. So I appreciate the time, and I'll leave you to the rest of the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Reynolds. We appreciate you. Thank you again. At this time, about the third time, we're going to turn it over to the Honorable Mayor Matt Burke.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's kind of like somebody hits the pause button. So it's just kind of like, but no, it's great to see so many great guests here tonight, and I'm happy to be amongst everybody. First and foremost, I would like to express my gratitude to all of the residents who attended the town hall meetings this year. This summer has been, great. The town hall series was established for the summer, and it was really nice. I mean, if I play back the summer, we did one in Ward 1 with the help of Councilwoman Collier in that really good picnic we had over there with the church. And it was really nice because we were able to do a lot of community engagement. And, our city has experienced significant growth. And with that, we need to have the civic engagement, the community engagement. I need to hear what residents want to see. I'm very, very excited because when you have these type of town hall series, we've been able to do them at different locations this last summer. We were able to meet some new businesses like MTech that came in, and Beachbrook. We were over at Beachbrook for the ribbon cutting. And our latest addition, Miss O's Cafe, located in Garfield Commons, and the home of my favorite, the Wine Down Bistro Polish Boy, obviously. You can see it in my physique. I'm deeply touched by the dedication of the nonprofits and parents and residents who consistently come forward to assist those in need within our community. Attending Block Watch meetings and community events like Taste Attorney has allowed me to connect with many of the residents, listen to their concerns, and share their excitement and visionary ideas for the future. Revenue helps to address a lot of issues that were brought to my attention. Residents want their roads and sidewalks addressed. They want safety in our city, such as less speeders, both within our side streets, and most of all, along our corridor of I-480. Issue 19 is not a tax, but a very important safety measure that will save lives by slowing motorists down on I-480. There is an accident almost every day on I-480. There was one this morning, closed a few lanes. And we are asking the voters of Garfield Heights to help us address this by allowing photo monitoring devices only on I-480. With 50% of any revenue collected will be used to help address the issues that were brought up by the residents. And I think that's very important that you know two things. Issue 19 is not a tax, and issue 19 will make I-480 safer. And I think that's ultimately our goal, is to make that corridor safer. It is unbelievable the amount of traffic that goes down that road. And I think the last study we did in 42 hours, over 18,000 motorists were going 15 miles or more over the speed limit. It's dangerous, folks, and we have to do our due diligence to try to address it. And also, I want to reiterate that with those fines comes revenue. And with that revenue, 50% of it is going to be used to address the infrastructure, the safety, the very things that everybody comes to me with and complains about. And I listen to what a lot of people say, and I'll tell you, money solves a lot of those issues. I think I was talking to Jeff earlier. When we look at the Cuyahoga County Central Services campus coming to the city of Garfield Heights, the speculation is it's going to bring $1.2 million worth of revenue to the city of Garfield Heights. When I sit down and talk to our city engineer, and he says, Mayor, if you had $5 million a year to put into the streets of Garfield Heights, in 5 years you would redo every street in Garfield Heights. And I say, wow, with the county campus coming at $1.2 million a year, that's a drop in the bucket compared to what we really need to address the streets and do them the right way and constantly maintain them. And I've been doing this a long time. I've been on council. I've been on previous councils where we didn't have money to do anything to fix your street. We didn't have money to repair anything. And to be quite honest with you, I don't think I would know how to act if we had $5 million just to put into our streets. I think I'd be lost, and I'd probably have to seek some kind of mental health facility, PTSD, so on and so forth. I am eagerly looking forward to the progress of various projects in our city. The Garfield Boulevard reconstruction is currently in progress, and the opening of the Garfield Pond, the new education center and boathouse, is on October 17th. And this is a very highly anticipated milestone for all that region over there in our city. I'm thrilled to announce that this upcoming spring, I will be hosting a fishing derby for the kids, fishing with the mayor at the pond. And I want to say thank you. I want to extend my thanks to not only Cuyahoga County Executive Chris Ronayne, but also the Cuyahoga County Greenways Partners, Cuyahoga County Planning, the Cleveland Metro Parks, the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District, Cleveland Water, and most importantly, the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, which collaboratively have helped us make that a possibility and bring amenities here to Garfield Heights for our residents to enjoy and for people that from all over to come and enjoy. I also want to go over a couple of things that are on our website. October 5th, we are having our annual Fall Festival. This is like the Fall Family Fun Day. There's going to be hay rides. We're kind of going back old school. Some hay rides, airbrush tattoos, pumpkin decorating, balloon makers. We're going to have a DJ this year as opposed to having the cultural dancers. We've been trying to get those again, and they're pretty booked this year. I think people are stealing our ideas. On October 10th, this is another community town hall meeting we're doing. October 10th is going to be tee-off on the mayor and city council for everything that has to do with safety and roads and city infrastructure. Really, I want to sit down and talk about what really needs to be done and really kind of outline to the residents exactly how much money it takes to fix the streets, how much money we pour into the streets every year, what can be done. So that is October 10th right here at the Civic Center at 6:30 p.m. In our rec center, we have stick and puck sessions at the rec center here. People who want to learn how to play hockey and learn how to skate. We also have a ice skating lessons that are starting up September 21st. And then you can actually try to ice skate before you learn. And that's something neither I will not do because I exceed the weight limit for that ride, like I say. But I have no business being on a pair of skates. But all in all, make sure that you check our website, www.garfieldhts.org, for all the events. Sign up for the notifications. If you sign up, it will notify you whenever something gets posted, and I think that's very important. I will let my chief of staff get into tonight's legislation, but before I do that, I just want to just single out one resolution, and that is Resolution 25, 2024. And it's asking this council, myself, that we all support the upcoming renewal levy of the Garfield Heights City School District. Folks, the renewal levy is a renewal. You're already paying this. It's not any new money that's coming out of your pocket. It's money that you're already paying. And to be honest with you, if it doesn't pass, it could lead to about a $5 million deficit to our school system. And with that comes notable cuts in the school day, notable cuts in the programs that they have for children. And we're doing whatever we can as a city to help collaborate with them to provide programs. And we don't want to see the school day get cut short. So please, I'm pleading to the voters to please support. I think it's issue 57. Issue 50. Please support issue 50 because we do this as a community, not just as a city administration, but this is a community. And that's what we're building here as a community. And hang on, folks, because we are growing, and we're growing rapidly. And with that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Jeff Jerome.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. President. Briefly run through the legislation this evening. I know we had a chance to do so at caucus. Amended Ordinance 55, 2024 this evening allows us to amend a previously passed ordinance. There was a cost to the city that is associated with receiving the grant money on that. I think it's approximately $2,400. We ask for your support on that piece. Ordinance 69, 2024 is going out for a DOJ grant. It's something that we do annually. Ordinance 70, 2024 would be the prohibiting the use of family cemeteries within the city limits. Ordinances 71 and 72 are the two NOPEC pieces that were already presented to you this evening. And then finally, Ordinance 73, Ms. Byro went through in caucus as well. So we would politely ask council support on each of these pieces, and then obviously the resolution that the mayor has already discussed in length. Thank you, Mr. President.
You're welcome, Chief of Staff. So thank you again for your report. At this time, we'll turn it over to our Law Director, Mr. Milko Cisse, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everybody. Just a couple of things. First and foremost, since we do have some other public officials in attendance, as well as up at the podium, to remind everyone, including their own council members, of the audit training. I know I talked about this a little bit in caucus. Our deadline for cities is this Saturday, September 28th. Schools, you guys are a little luckier. You just started on September 1st. You have until November 29th, I believe, to complete yours. So that's just a reminder. I know most of you, if not all of you, have done it already. So thank you all. That's just a reminder to everybody of that. Regarding Ordinance 70-2024, which Mr. Jerome already brought up, Ohio law allows family cemeteries, but also allows cities to prohibit them within our boundaries. That's what this would be doing. We've had some questions and requests from folks out there wishing to essentially bury family members within their backyard. Given the size of our lots in the city, I don't think it's something that would be prudent for us to do. So that's what this ordinance would do, is control and essentially prohibit and criminalize burying bodies in backyards in our city. So I do ask for your support on that. And just a couple other cleanup things. Mr. Ramos was here earlier talking about the two pieces of legislation for NOPEC. You may have heard him say we don't need to do the waiver of the 3 reading rule today. So I'll remind you when that piece comes up as well. We will not be waiving the 3 reading rule for the two pieces of legislation with respect to NOPEC. we can waive the subsequent readings once we have those public meetings at our next meeting on October 15th. Again, I'll remind you of that as when the time comes. With that being said, also, our next meeting is going to be Tuesday, October 15th, because Monday, the 14th is a holiday, it's Columbus Day. Mr. President, I do think at the end, we just take a vote to move the meeting to October 15th. I'll remind you of that at the end of our meeting today as well. And the last piece is, since we do have a number of folks from the school district in attendance, thank you again for coming. And we do have a piece with respect to the schools. What we have to do with that piece, again, we'll have to waive the 72-hour rule. What that means is for everyone to be aware, within our ordinances and rules, city council members have to receive the packet and the agenda 72 hours in advance. This piece was brought to my attention today. Wanted to be a good partner with the schools, the city council, and everyone in the administration. Wanted to put this on tonight's agenda. We knew that some of you may be here tonight, so again, welcome. So we did add it to the agenda. We amended our agenda and we amended the packet and we essentially sent out to folks. Therefore, it wasn't within the 72 hours, hence why we have to waive the 72-hour rule. Again, I'll remind you when that piece comes up, but I just wanted to kind of clarify that so everyone's aware of the game plan for tonight. That said, I don't have anything else to report. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Cease. I appreciate that. Is there any other reports at this time? If there's no other reports from the mayor, we'll move on to any communications on tonight's agenda. Is there any communications on tonight's agenda? Okay. All right. At this time, since there's no other people to present tonight on tonight's agenda, Mr. Ramos has already done so. We'll move into our ordinances, and we'll begin with the amended ordinance. Councilwoman Collier.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Collier.
I would like to consider amended ordinance 55-2024 by title.
Oh, before you do that, I apologize. I have to stop over running the council clerk. Council clerk.
Okay, ordinance number 55-2024, sponsored by Mayor Matthew Burke. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to do all things necessary to apply for and accept the Bureau of Workers' Compensation Firefighter Exposure to Environmental Elements Grant to be used to purchase safety equipment and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Collier.
I would like to consider amended motion 55-2024 by title.
It's been so moved by Councilwoman Collier for the amendment of ordinance number 55-2024. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved and second by Councilwoman Mack. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Collier.
I would like to make a motion for the suspension of the 3 reading rule.
It's been so moved by Councilwoman Collier for the motion for suspension of the 3 reading rules. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved and second by Councilwoman Mack. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Collier.
I would like to make a motion for waiver of Rule 24.
It's been so moved by Councilwoman Collier for a waiver of Rule 24. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no. Oh, I'm sorry, can I get a second on that? Thank you, Mac, I'm running fast.
Second.
It's been so moved and second by Councilwoman Mack. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no. I'll call for a roll call on the adoption, beginning with Councilwoman Collier.
Ms. Collier.
Yes.
Ms. Mack.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Consing.
Yes.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
Ms. Rose. Yes.
That passes 7-0.
Ordinance number 69-2024, sponsored by Mayor Matthew Burke, co-sponsored by Council President Avery Johnson. An ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor or his designee to do all things necessary to apply for, accept, and utilize the 2024 Department of Justice Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Thompson.
I would like to make a motion to consider by title ordinance number 69, 2024.
There's been a motion on the floor to consider by title by Councilwoman Thompson for ordinance number 69, 2024. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved and second by Councilman Kelly. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no.
Mr. President, I would like to make a motion to suspend the 3 reading rule.
It's been so moved and second for suspension of 3 reading rules. Can I get a second?
Second.
Been so moved and second by Councilman Kelly. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no.
Mr. President, I would like to make a motion to waiver Rule 24.
It's been so moved by waiver for the waiver of Rule 24 by Councilwoman Thompson. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved and second by Councilman Kelly. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no. I'll call for a roll call on the adoption, beginning with Councilwoman Thompson.
Ms. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
Ms. Rhodes.
Yes.
Ms. Collier.
Yes.
Ms. Mack.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes. It passes 7-0.
Ordinance number 70, 2024, sponsored by Mayor Matthew Burke, co-sponsored by Council President Avery Johnson. An ordinance establishing section 541.12, interment of the dead of the codified ordinances of the city of Garfield Heights and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President,
Councilman Smith.
I move to consider by title ordinance number 70-2024.
It's been so moved by Councilman Smith for a motion to consider by title, ordinance number 70, 2024. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved and second by Councilwoman Thompson. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no.
Mr. President,
Councilman Smith.
I move to suspend the 3 reading rule.
The motion's been made for suspension of the 3 reading rules. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved and second by Councilwoman Thompson. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no.
Mr. President,
Councilman Smith.
I move for a waiver of Rule 24.
It's been so moved by Councilman Smith for a waiver of Rule 24. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved by second by Councilwoman Thompson. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no. I'll call for a roll call on the adoption, beginning with Councilman Smith.
Mr. Smith.
Before I make my determination, I felt the need to get involved in this particular ordinance, especially because many of you may know, some of you may not know that I pastor a church. And this situation came up before me, put me in one of the most precarious positions that I've ever been in my entire career. And I've been preaching, pastoring over 20 years. But when death enters in, it's vulnerable for a family, and you try to do the best that you can for that particular family at that particular time. And the family came to me personally and asked if I would do their service in their backyard and bury their loved one in their backyard. Again, very precarious for me because you were trying to help out the individual at that particular time. Constant talk, advice, etc. We did actually talk them out of doing it, and it ended up at Cleveland Memorial Gardens. So I'm very happy to see they're here because this would have helped me immensely when it came down that it's illegal to do. And now we are putting it in writing, and so we're grateful about that. So with that being said, yes.
Okay. Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
Ms. Rhodes.
Yes.
Ms. Collier.
Yes.
Ms. Mack.
Yes.
It passes 7-0.
Ordinance number 71, 2024, sponsored by Mayor Matthew Burke, co-sponsored by Council President Avery Johnson. An ordinance authorizing all actions necessary to establish an opt-in natural gas program in the city of Garfield Heights pursuant to section 4929.27A1 Ohio Revised Code, jointly through NOPEC as a NOPEC member and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Rose.
I would like to make a motion to accept ordinance 71-2024 by title, please.
It's been so moved by Councilwoman Rose for ordinance number 71, 2024. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved by title for a second by Councilman Kelly. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to pass this for a second reading.
It's been so moved by Councilwoman Rose to move this for a second reading. Can I please have a roll call at this time? First, let me have a second.
Second.
It's been so moved and second by Councilman Kelly. At this time, can we have a roll call?
And Ms. Rhodes,
Yes.
Ms. Collier,
Yes.
Ms. Mack,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Coniston,
Yes.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
Moves to a second reading. Okay, ordinance number 72-2024, sponsored by Mayor Matthew Burke, co-sponsored by Council President Avery Johnson. An ordinance approving the plan of operation and governance for the NOPEC opt-in gas aggregation program in the city of Garfield Heights for the purpose of jointly establishing and implementing an opt-in gas aggregation program as a NOPEC member and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President,
Councilman Kelly.
make a motion to consider by title ordinance 72-2024.
It's been moved by Councilman Kelly for a motion considered by title ordinance number 72, 2024. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved and second by Councilwoman Tunzi. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no.
Mr. President,
Councilman Kelly.
I make a motion to pass for a second reading of ordinance 72-2024.
It's been so moved by Councilman Kelly for a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved by second by Councilwoman Tunzi. At this time, can we please have a roll call?
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Ms. Rhodes,
Yes.
Ms. Collier,
Yes.
Ms. Mack,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Coniston.
Yes.
Move to a second
It's
reading.
been moved to the second reading. Thank you.
Ordinance number 73-2024, sponsored by Mayor Matthew Burke, co-sponsored by Council President Avery Johnson. Appropriations ordinance. An ordinance to amend appropriations for the current expenditures for the city of Garfield Heights, Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2024, and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Mack.
I would like to make a motion to consider by title ordinance 73, 2024.
It's been so moved by title by Councilwoman Mack. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved by second by Councilman Smith. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Mack.
I would like to make a motion to suspend the three reading rules.
The motion's been moved for suspension of the three reading rules. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved and second by Councilman Smith. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Mack.
I would like to make a motion for a waiver of Rule 24.
It's been so moved by Councilwoman Mack for a waiver of Rule 24. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
It's been so moved by second by Councilman Smith. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no. I'll call for a roll call beginning on the adoption, beginning with Dr. Mack.
Ms. Mack,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Coniston,
Yes.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Rhodes,
Yes.
Ms. Collier.
Yes.
That passes 7-0.
Resolution number 25-2024, sponsored by Mayor Matthew Burke. A resolution of support by the mayor and council of the city of Garfield Heights for issue 50, a renewal levy proposed by the Garfield Heights City School District Board of Education.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Pro Tem Carter.
I would like to make a motion for the waiver of the 72-hour rule for resolution 25-2024.
Motion has been made by Councilwoman Carter. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved and seconded by Councilwoman Dr. Mack. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Collier.
I would like to consider by title resolution 25-2024.
It's been so moved, motion been made considered by title by Councilwoman Collier. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
I stand corrected. Need to get a second.
Second.
It's been so moved and seconded by Councilwoman Mack. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Collier.
I would like to make a motion for the suspension of the 3 reading rule.
There's been a motion for suspension of the 3 reading rules. Can I get a second?
Second.
Been so moved and seconded by Councilwoman Mack. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no. I'll call for a roll call adoption, beginning with Council Pro Tem Carter.
Ms. Collier.
Yes.
Ms. Mack.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
Ms. Nerone.
Yes.
Passes 7-0. All right. That concludes our ordinances and resolutions for this evening. We will move right on to comments by citizens at this time. Wait, you want to read rules?
Comments shall be restricted to any problem a resident has which had previously been submitted to his or her councilperson or to the city hall department directly involved. If submission of a problem to a city hall department or councilperson is made, and there is a lack of service rendered in this regard, the problem may then be presented during comments by citizens at a future meeting. It is the intent of this rule that no request of a first nature is presented on the floor at this time. Comments shall be limited to 5 minutes. No citizen shall be heard more than once.
Ms. Craig.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
My question is for the law directors. Why you look it up? My name's Rhonda Creighton, and there was a question at a previous council meeting that the question was for a business on East 131st Street in regards to a marijuana establishment. And the answers that you posed was that that establishment could not sell marijuana inside the dwelling. Was that my understanding?
I don't think inside is, I guess, yes, they cannot, at the location you're talking about, they cannot sell marijuana.
Has that changed? Has anyone went back to inspect that building? Because I've been in there several times and there's exceptionally large canisters of marijuana sitting right on top of the counter. The signs have gone up, and it was my understanding that it was only supposed to be vape pens in there, and I don't really even see any vape pens in there.
So the sale of, as most people, if not everyone here knows, marijuana is legal in Ohio now.
It was legal when we had that meeting before,
Correct, yeah.
but it was my understanding that in the city of Garfield Heights, that they were not going to be able whatsoever to sell marijuana. And there's several large displays of marijuana sitting on the display cases inside that store. And there was also not supposed to be able to sell it within so many feet of schools, daycares.
The state of Ohio governs the sale of marijuana. That place does not have a marijuana license. The only place in the city of Garfield Heights that can legally sell, whether it's medical marijuana or recreational marijuana, is Terrasana, located in Antonucci.
That's what I thought you said.
Correct.
So
They're
what
the
are
only
we
ones
gonna
that
do
have a
about
license
this?
by the state of Ohio. What that place is selling, if there's a complaint, obviously we need to know whether it's our building department. They've had issues with signs, other stuff. If they're selling CBD oils, that's a different story altogether.
Mm-mm.
If they're selling marijuana, then someone needs to let us know. We don't just randomly go and jump into places and inspect them.
Okay, I just want to let you know.
No, I'm glad you're bringing that up. So we've had discussions about that place before. We've had our building inspector come in and said go out numerous times. And things
Yeah, I
like
don't
that.
even think they have a building permit to be open.
If they don't, then we're going to shut them down essentially, if that's the case.
Yeah, we need to shut them down.
Yeah, so, Councilwoman Collier brought this to our attention. So the building department has been there.
There's
the fire
teenagers
department-
going in and out of there, and I mean, you know, I don't smoke marijuana, but I just wanted to go in there to be nosy.
But they should not have marijuana.
All right,
That is correct.
Thank you.
okay,
That's great.
Thank
Appreciate that very kind.
all right.
There was no other,
You got glaucoma, well, we can go in there and see what they got.
All right. Okay, we're gonna move on to our remaining miscellaneous business, and we're gonna begin with the council pro tem in Ward 1, and we'll work our way on down. And at this time, I'll turn it over to council pro tem, Ms. Carter.
First, let me start by saying I absolutely love the residents of Ward 1 and how on top of things that are wrong in the ward you are. I appreciate you all so much for having my back and letting council know and let the city know that we stand together, united in Ward 1. I do appreciate you. I can get long-winded, so let me start by saying, I invite you all out on 9/27. It's one night only. It is free. Amy Bardson, who is the wife of the late actor Andre Bergner, who we know as Frank Pemberton on Homicide, Life on the Streets, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She's given a one-woman cabaret performance, phenomenal woman, and after she's going to have a conversation on voter engagement. I would ask you all to come out and support. I am one of the panelists, so you will get the opportunity to hear me talk about phenomenal women in Ward 1. So please come out for that. Second, I would like to invite everyone. Programming, one of the things that I always argue about and complain about in the city of Garfield Heights is lack of programming. One thing that we're doing in Ward 1 is trying to figure out ways to come up with programming. That being said, we have a program, Art Reaching Kids, that's once again is coming back to Ward 1 for 7 weeks. Starting October 6th, I have registration information on the Bringing Back Ward 1 website and Bulldog Babies website also. They're going to be teaching kids or young adults, families, anyone who wants to come, you're entitled to, you're welcome. Anyone is welcome. Sewing, Helen Carter is going to be teaching a sewing class here. Thank you, Mom. Perfume making for ages 14 and up, drumming, bucket drumming. Actually, Regina, who is the person who's teaching drumming for this program, is the drum major instructor at the City of Garfield Heights for the band, for the Garfield Heights band. There's dance class, hair braiding. All of this is being done for $15, the cost of the t-shirt. The only thing your family, your child would have to pay is $15, and they'll get 6 weeks of training. And then there's a program at the end of the 6 weeks for them to be able to showcase what they've learned this particular 6 weeks. It does 6 weeks on, and then 3 or 4 weeks off, and then another 6 weeks on again. So we are proud to keep Art Reaching Kids in Ward 1, and we're trying to keep the cost minimal. I can say there are some donations that have come about for that. Also, I want to just remind everybody, as support for the school district, I remember the last time a levy did not pass and our children were sent home half a day. Parents trying to struggle to figure out what to do with their children, daycare. Some of these children, some families are food poor, and some children, the only meals they get through the day is breakfast and lunch at school and a 3 p.m. bag from the library. So with that being said, do we really want to send these children out here and have them, who knows, and who's going to be accountable for them? We should support this renewal. It is, the school district pays school, your children get free school supplies. There are so many things that the district is doing to make sure that your children are being educated properly. And we would be remiss if we didn't at least do the minimal for them by renewing this levy. I can say as alumni, I support it. Go Bulldogs. With that, that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Collier. We'll move right along to Ward 2, and we'll have Dr. Mack.
So to piggyback off what my council colleague said about supporting the issue 50, I remember when my children were in school, it was a couple of years where they were there, where school was cut short, and it leaves parents fumbling, trying to figure out how to make sure you pick them up at a certain time. And, it's just a lot of little different changes that you have to make in your life to make sure you accommodate your children. So I would like to ask people to support issue 50 with the school board levy. And due to our next meeting taking place mid-October, I'd like to take a moment to discuss the importance of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and which we all know is observed in October. And that month serves as a powerful reminder to ongoing fight against the disease that impacts millions of individuals and families worldwide. So with that being said, additionally, I do have my 5th annual breast cancer awareness walk that will take place at the Iron Spring Shelter, yes, in Garfield Heights on October 5th at 1 p.m. and the walk starts at 1:30 p.m. And if you would like to show up, just wear some pink and show up.
Can do.
And that is all I have.
Excellent, excellent. At this time, we'll move right along into Ward 3, Councilman Smith.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a quick reminder to all of the Ward 3 residents, actually the city of Garfield. That being said, please return your receptacles, your trash receptacles, to the place of point, if you would. We do not bring your trash cans back into your yard. So please, I've had to have several conversations. We don't have the money to have our service people to bring them back. Maybe if we pass issue 19, maybe that'll be something we'll look at. But right now, we don't have the funding to do that. So please bring your receptacles back into your yard. Also, just very briefly, hot off the press, we are in a prototype phase, if you would, in Ward 3, and we are creating what is called a concern committee, and it will be directly centered, if you would, parallel with our building department. We have several homes that seem to have taken left turns, violations here and there, non-cutting of grass. We even had an issue where there were deceased animals in the yard. And we want to begin to attack that in a positive way. The concerning committee will be meeting with the building department on a monthly basis. This is not, and I repeat to our Ward 3 residents, it is not a beat up session. It's a session where we're gonna come together and tackle 2 to 3 issues and work with them, and we're gonna work together. It's still in its prototype phase, but it will start sometime in October, and we're just sending that out to all of our Ward 3 residents. More to come. You'll get more information as we develop it. That being said, thank you.
Councilman Smith, appreciate that. At this time, we'll go to Ward 5.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming, and thank you to those who are watching. I just want to say happy fall. Also, I just want to welcome our newest officer, K9 Ike. He and Officer Timko just passed their state exam. So I just want to welcome him to our community, and I'm glad that he's here. So on that, I also was looking today, I guess the seniors had their sneaker ball, and they look so cute in all the pictures on the city website. And if you haven't joined, I suggest you join. They do a lot of activities and take a lot of day trips. It's really something that you should get involved in. And they have meals too. So check that out. Also, there's a produce drive at Marymount Hospital. That is Wednesday, the 25th. That is 12 to 2. And it is off, you enter off East 126th Street. And I do want to piggyback on Councilman Smith. Yes, please bring back your trash cans. I have a lot of calls on that too. And it'll just keep everyone happy and our city looking clean. So with that, I thank you for coming out. Have a safe night and take care.
Thank you, Councilwoman Thompson. This time we'll move right along to Ward 6, Councilman Kelly.
Good evening. Let's see as quickly as possible. Let me see my time. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I can't go overboard. All right, so want to invite you to our next Neighbors on Duty meeting, which will be held Wednesday, October the 2nd at 6:30, right here at the Civic Center upstairs in the big room there. Of course, our guest will be our Chief K and Company, Ohio State Highway Patrol, Judge Sergio DiGeronimo, our Mayor Matt Burke, and others. You and I got to talk, Councilman Smith. We got to talk. Other than that, again, that's October the 2nd. I want to say ditto about the school issue. As I said last meeting, I only had one little issue, and I see our superintendent here tonight, so we actually have a chance to talk. I'm not obviously a resident or an alumni of Garfield Heights, but and I do champion the rival between Cleveland Heights and Garfield. But I only say that to say I do remember when a levy of ours didn't pass, and so I know what it's like when these things, when it happens. I was in school when such things happen, and so as the city is moving forward and as we're trying to do things and move in such a positive direction, we're doing so well. Let's not go backwards. We're definitely trying to. I'm so proud of Coach T I say all the time about how, I was a jock myself, and track was my thing. And we tried to bring a summer program to Garfield, and it didn't really, pop off. Well, I think with Coach T, this thing can actually happen. And so, and now that we got a field that we can actually be proud of now, I keep telling, listen, I complain all the time, and I gotta hurry, that I'm looking at the same field until this actually happened. I was looking at the same field that I used to play when we ride with you guys. I'm looking at the same field. Well, now we don't have to say that. So let's not go backwards by not renewing this. And so that's my pitch. Other than that, I got a phone call from residents in regards to skunk killing. Obviously, that's not allowed. It shouldn't happen. Shouldn't be happening. We're gonna get in touch with our animal warden and, if necessary, our police department. So if you are, this is the soft warning. If you are disposing of wildlife in your driveway, behind the garage, and just know that something is coming behind that, because we do have ordinances on the books that prohibit that. And with that, I'll pause here because I want to get home for Monday Night Football.
Thank you, Councilman Kelly, for your comments. At this time, we're going to move over to Ward 7, Councilwoman Aromas.
All right, on the 26th, this Thursday at 7 o'clock at St. Monica's in the Pavilion, we will have our Ward 7 Block Watch. Everyone is welcome to attend. I just want to remind everyone about the Fall Festival for the city on October 5th from 12 to 3. And in regards to the city's levy, I just want to say I did work at Garfield Heights Schools for a couple of years, and the kids there are amazing. Yes, we hear stories about kids doing things that they shouldn't do, but I promise you, the number of great kids that want to do good and are going to change the world outweighs the number of kids that are doing bad things. So please support our kids and help our city. With that, you have my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman Aromas. I don't want to hold on to anybody longer than what I have to, but given the fact that I represent the great Ward 4, where did I hear any mumbling or grumbling? I don't think anybody's voice out there.
I think everyone from Ward 1 up there.
I'm just saying the high school is located over in Ward 4. And with that note in mind, we need to be very mindful that this levy that is being proposed by our school district, again, is an operating budget. And we need to make sure that our school is fully funded to address those things like extracurricular activities that our kids need. We begin to cut those things, then it's going to fall on the residents that live here in our city to find those activities and to assist where funding has already been approved by you. This is not an increase on you. This is not something that you probably even missed at this particular time. So we're going to ask our residents again to renew that levy and support the school. And I wholeheartedly support them because I know this will not allow them to cut teachers, allow them to cut recreational type programs and other things that our kids really need to function, supplies and a host of other things that they will need in our school district. So again, I wholeheartedly ask that you come out and support us as we go forward in the near future. Now, with that note in mind, I received a card from Barb and North Steeford saying, "Dear veteran," I just happen to be a veteran. "Thank you for your service. We cherish our freedoms, and God bless you." And I just want to send a shout out to them for sending me such a nice card. Remember your veterans
We have a holiday that's gonna be coming up, recognizing Veterans Day, so please, remember those good people. And with that note in mind, be mindful of all the things that my fellow colleagues have mentioned tonight. We have a host of things going on in the city. Please come out and support your city, like in the fall festival that's getting ready to come up too. So I'm asking everyone, please come out, support your city with that note in mind. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Prior to the
Well,
motion
prior
to
to the
adjourn,
motion, yes.
I would like to also remind everybody, piggybacking off, just 1 second, off of, what, Councilman Kelly said, the football field. The dedication for the new football field is October 1st at 3 p.m. Come on out and support and check out the new field. With that, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Can I get that motion?
No, we have,
Point of order?
the law director has.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, just to move the meeting to Tuesday.
Right.
October
That's what I was-
16th. There'll be a motion and a second for that.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Collier.
I would like to make a motion that we move the meeting from, what's the date? October 14th to the 15th.
It's been so moved by Councilwoman Collier to move the council meeting from October 14th to the 15th. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been so moved and second by Councilman Smith. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no. With that note in mind,
Mr. President, I move that the city council meeting of Monday, September 23rd, 2024 be adjourned at 16 p.m. They got that glaucoma going on.
can I get a second, please?
Second.
It's been so moved and second by Councilwoman Thompson. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.